Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and this is your third session on a chapter physical change and a chemical change. In the previous videos, we discussed about the physical change, its characteristics and the examples. In the second video, we spoke about a chemical change, its characteristics and real life examples. And today, we will talk more detailed aspects of chemical change. Okay, let us discuss about a concept called chemical reaction. So what do you mean by a chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is that reaction where a substance undergoes a complete change in its physical state as well as chemical composition. Okay, chemical reaction is that reaction where a substance, whatever substance you are taking, that substance undergoes a change in state. Its state can be changed. If it is there in a solid form, it will be converted into liquid or gas. Okay, and its chemical composition also is changed. The substance is no more a pure substance as it was before. Okay, it is completely changed into something else. Some new substances would be formed. So such a change, such a chemical change, when you observe with respect to a particular substance, that is called as chemical reaction. Okay, so chemical reaction is generally represented as, I have two substances here. A is one chemical substance, B is another chemical substance. So when I add them, I will get some new substances called C and D. Okay, C is completely a new substance which is very much different from A and B, and D is also a completely new substance very much different from A and B. Okay, so this is how we represent a chemical reaction. And the A and B which are reacting among themselves are called reactants. Remember guys, these are called reactants. And the new substances, whatever has formed out of the reaction between A and B is called products. Okay, clear everybody? So whatever I have written this side, the guys who are reacting among themselves is called reactants, and the new guys which are formed out of a chemical reaction is called products. Okay, and reactants as well as products are always separated with this particular arrow mark. So this is how we write a chemical reaction in general. And normally, how do you know that a chemical reaction has occurred? There must be some proof, right? How do you know a chemical reaction has occurred? How do you know when A and B has combined? How do you know that C and D are formed? See, a chemical reaction can be recognized or identified by certain factors. Okay, so we will discuss about those factors one by one in this video. That is the main motto of this particular video. Okay, so we are going to discuss the number of ways how a chemical change or reaction can be identified or recognized. Okay, so try to observe carefully. A chemical reaction, in other words, change, a chemical change can be identified or recognized by certain factors. Okay, we also call them as characteristics. Okay, in other words, these factors are also called as characteristics. Okay, see, the first characteristic, a chemical reaction can be identified with the help of evolution of gas. Okay, so whenever a chemical reaction occurs, sometimes gas is liberated. So with the help of that gas liberated, you can easily say that yes, chemical change is happening within. That is why the gas is coming out. Simply gas will not come out when two substances are added. Yes or no? If there is occurring a chemical reaction between them, a particular gas may come out. So liberation of gas or evolution of a gas is one of the proof to say that a particular guys are undergoing a chemical change. Okay, so evolution of gas is one of the characteristic of a chemical reaction. And the second characteristic is change in color. Change in color. Color can be changed. If a substance is there in a white color thing, after a chemical change, it may become brown color or it may become green color. Okay, so due to this color change, by observing this color change also, you can able to tell to people that there is happening a chemical reaction within. There is happening a chemical change within. Okay, so change in color is another proof to tell that there is happening a chemical reaction or change. Okay, and the third proof to tell about a chemical change is formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate. Okay, so we will talk about the precipitate little later. More detailed aspects we will discuss later. Okay, and the fourth factor that you can observe is change in state. State is also changed. Yeah, change in state is also observed in physical change also, isn't it? Okay, not only in a chemical change, in physical change also, change in state is observed. Fine. And next factor or the next characteristics of chemical reaction is change in energy. Change in energy or temperature. Change in energy or temperature. Okay, so whenever a chemical reaction is happening, you will observe large change in temperature. Sometimes for some reaction, say if A and B have to react, sometimes you have to heat. That means temperature have to supplied from outside. When you supply heat from outside, then only they may react to give new substances. Okay, so definitely, temperature issue is there. And sometimes what will happen, whenever A and B reacts, automatically heat is liberated within a reaction itself. You don't need to supply heat from outside. Heat is automatically liberated within the system only. Okay, so like this, heat absorbed or heat released issues will be there whenever a chemical change happens. Okay, so these are the 5 characteristics. We have to study one by one with examples. Yeah, now let us go for the first characteristics, that is evolution of a gas. Evolution of a gas. Okay, so for this I will show a demonstration. I have already shown this demonstration in the previous video. Again I am showing you, and try to observe how a gas is coming outside. Okay, see, the demonstration is a reaction between baking powder and vinegar. Okay, so in a test tube I have taken the baking powder and this is vinegar, and when I add, see, try to observe what is happening. See, that white bubbly color thing that is coming out is nothing but a gas. It's a carbon dioxide gas. Okay, see, the moment I add vinegar to a baking powder, see, that effervescence, this bubbly color thing that is coming out is called effervescence. See, this is very, it has a very pungent smell actually. Okay, and this is nothing but a carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas is what coming out whenever I add vinegar to a baking powder. Okay, so how do you say that this particular chemical reaction has happened? See, the moment I added vinegar to a baking powder, if I have to tell a people, see, this is what a chemical change, then how do you recognize? You can recognize by looking at the evolution of gas. Yes or no? So you could actually feel that something is happening between vinegar and baking powder by looking at that white bubbly colored stuff coming out of the test tube. Yes or no? So by evolution of a gas, by observing the evolution of a gas, you could actually feel that there is happening a chemical reaction between the two substances. Isn't it? So the first example, the gas is really very pungent. Okay. Example number 1, the same example I will give you. It is not that you have to learn the examples which is there in your textbook. I will also tell the examples that is there in our textbook also. Okay. The first example is baking powder. Okay. Say NaHCO3. This is the formula of baking powder. To this baking powder, you know, whenever HCl is added, this is also called sodium bicarbonate. This is also called sodium bicarbonate. Okay. So whenever acid is added to that, you will get a salt, that is sodium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide. Okay. See, with the help of the liberation of carbon dioxide gas, you are actually telling that there is happening something, that is a chemical change between HCl and baking powder. Okay. So this is how a gas comes out during a chemical reaction. And one more example, example 2, that is mentioned in your textbook. Okay. Zinc granules. Whenever you add zinc granules to H2SO4, which is called as sulfuric acid, you know what happens here? You will get ZnSO4 plus H2 gas. Okay, H2 gas. Whenever a gas comes out, you know, when it goes into atmosphere, we indicate with this particular sign. Okay, so this arrow mark indicates that this guy is a gas and it escapes into atmosphere. Okay, so this is a metal. Zinc is a metal. You must have learnt this common reaction in the previous classes. Whenever a metal is added to acid, you will always get hydrogen gas. Okay, and you know, how do you know that this is a hydrogen gas? Usually, you know, near the hydrogen gas, if you keep a burning candle, isn't it? It catches fire with a pop sound. Okay, hydrogen gas, you know, catches fire with pop sound. Okay, this is how we can test that this particular gas is hydrogen. See, all gases look in a similar way. Most of the gases are colorless only, isn't it? So how do you identify that this is hydrogen gas and this is carbon dioxide gas? We have some test for that. Okay, so hydrogen gas is always identified with the help of a burning candle. If you keep a burning candle near to it, it can, you know, catch that fire and it can burn with a pop sound. Okay, pop sound in the sense dup sound. Okay, fine. And one more example if you want. Example number 3. Copper sulfide. Okay, copper sulfide, when you add HCl to copper sulfide, you know, you will get copper chloride plus H2S gas here. H2S gas, it has a very bad smell. Okay, you can imagine the smell of a rotten egg. Rotten egg smell. It will be a very, very bad, right? So H2S gas also has that rotten egg smell. Remember this signs, okay? H2S has rotten egg smell. Very, 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 very bad smell. Okay, so these are the 3 examples you can remember for your examinations. Okay, so in the first case, carbon dioxide gas comes outside. Second case, hydrogen gas. And how do you test that this is hydrogen gas? It burns with a pop sound. And in the third example, H2S gas comes outside. Okay, so it will have a smell of a rotten egg. Okay, and this is how you can able to identify a chemical reaction with the help of the liberation of gas. Now we will go for identifying a chemical reaction with change in color. Okay, whenever a chemical reaction happens, you will observe a change in color also. That way also you can identify the happening of chemical reaction. Okay, say the first example we study here is example 1. Oh, very important example and a very important reaction also. So we take a lead nitrate crystals, okay, which are white in color. These lead nitrate is white in color, okay, and the moment I heat these crystals, this will get converted into lead oxide, and lead oxide is yellow color crystals. Okay, yellow color, it will have yellow color. Along with that, you will observe liberation of NO2 gas as well as O2 gas. Okay, and NO2 gas is brown colored gas. It is brown colored gas. Okay, say what has happened here? The lead nitrate, previously it was in white color. The moment you heat it, this guy will undergo breaking, and that is called as decomposition. In a chemical language, we don't call it as breaking. Molecule is breaking. That way we don't say. Molecule is undergoing decomposition, we say. Okay, so there is a word here. What is that? It is undergoing what, guys? Decomposition. Who is undergoing decomposition? Lead nitrate is undergoing decomposition. Okay, and this guy is getting converted into yellow colored lead oxide. Okay, you can observe the picture there. You have that white color powder has been taken in a test tube where a person is heating it, isn't it? So as you heat it, that white color powder is getting converted into yellow colored powder, and you can also observe that brown colored gas is coming out of the test tube. Okay, so observe the picture carefully, where you will observe the conversion of white color substance into the yellow color substance. Okay, white colored substance is nothing but lead nitrate. Yellow colored substance is nothing but product, that is a new substance you have got. Okay, so this is the best example for change in color. And you can also observe second example. One more example I'll give you. Example number 2. Okay, copper carbonate, which is in green color. Okay, copper carbonate is green color, and when you heat it, this is a sign for heating, guys. Okay, whenever we heat a chemical reaction, that is represented with the symbol this. Okay, this is a sign for heating. Okay, so whenever we heat copper carbonate, this guy will also undergo decomposition. That means it will break down into copper oxide, which is black in color. Copper oxide is black in color. Along with that, you will be getting carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so this is another example that you can remember, where in these reactions you will identify a chemical change with the help of color change, with the help of color changes. Okay, fine. And now we will study formation of precipitate. Okay, formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate. Okay, so what do you mean by a precipitate? Precipitate is nothing but insoluble substance. Insoluble substance formed during a chemical reaction. Formed during a chemical reaction is called precipitate. Okay, so whenever a chemical reaction happens between two guys, insoluble substance, a colored substance forming, you will observe with your naked eye. Okay, so such a insoluble substance formed during a chemical reaction is called precipitate. Say when you see the picture, you will clearly understand. Let us discuss the first example under this case. Example 1, for which? For the formation of precipitate. Okay, so whenever AgNO3, which is nothing but silver nitrate, is added to NaCl, you will observe the formation of AgCl, which is in white color. Okay, you will observe the formation of AgCl. You can observe the picture there. Okay, so this is colorless. NaCl is also colorless solution. Two colorless solutions, when they are adding, you can observe that white colored stuff forming. Okay, so that is what we call precipitate. Okay, so here along with AgCl, remaining is what, guys? Na is remaining, NO3 is remaining. Join them, you will get NaNO3. Okay, so this is example 1 under formation of precipitate. Understood? No? You can clearly observe the picture. You will come to know what is that insoluble substance. The moment you add two colorless substances, you know that white color, curdy white color stuff that is forming within a reaction mixture, that is what we call precipitate. So the moment you see precipitate, clearly you can able to understand, no, oh, there is some change happening between them. That is why the precipitate is coming. Right? So formation of precipitate is also one of the proof to tell a chemical reaction is happening within. Okay, fine. And another example you can remember here, guys, this is also a very important example. Okay, lead nitrate. Already we studied a reaction with lead nitrate, isn't it? Formula PbNO3 twice. Okay, to this lead nitrate, when potassium iodide is added, we all know lead nitrate is white in color. You can observe the picture there. Okay, so it is white in color. The moment you add, when you make a solution with water, it remains colorless actually. Okay, so to this, when you add potassium iodide, you know, you will get yellow colored precipitate of lead iodide. Okay, lead iodide is formed and that is yellow colored PPT. So precipitate, in shortcut we will write it as PPT also. Okay, yellow colored lead iodide you will get, along with that KNO3, potassium nitrate, you will get. So observe the picture carefully. So when potassium iodide is added to that white colored lead nitrate, you know that yellow colored precipitate is forming. So this is how, with the help of formation of precipitate also, you can able to identify whether a chemical reaction is happening or not. Okay. And in my next video, we will see the examples under remaining characteristics like change in state and change in energy issues. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. If you like our video, please like it, share it and subscribe our channel for more updates to learn it in an easier way. Thank you so much.